Congrats on the win, Valencia King, Real Talk Sports. Coach just mentioned Game 7 is a game that you wake up and you know you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So quick question for y'all. How did y'all wake up? How did y'all go in today's game?
I didn't really go to sleep. So I was just excited. That's all I got. I was excited to play.
I was nervous, to be honest. Just knowing, like, what's on the line. We've worked so hard the whole, 82-game season. We've all worked so hard in the summer. And to know, if you don't bring your A game, it could all be over with, all for nothing. And but I think that nervousness, motivated me and helped me play today, helped me give my all on both ends of the floor. And I used it to my advantage.
What's we got? I'll go to Joel.
Shay, you just mentioned, the feelings leading into this game, the season being on the line, but this is the first Western Conference Finals berth for the team, I think, in 9 years. Could you sense in these past few days and just throughout this game, after the win, just sort of what a win like this means to the building, to the city, to the franchise?
Yeah, it means a lot, specifically for the city. They've been so good all year. They've been behind us through good, through bad. It doesn't feel like, it feels like no team in the league has home court advantage like we do, and that's all due to them with the T-shirts, the cheering, the screaming, the chants. They really give us energy out there, and we've been a better team because of them and having them behind us. And to know that if we didn't bring it tonight, it could be over for them as well wasn't fair, and we wanted to play for them as well.
And Mark was just in here saying that it felt like you guys tiptoed into the game from a confidence standpoint. When did you sort of sense the game break open and that you guys really sort of leaned into the game? Yeah,
I think the nerves was natural. We obviously didn't shoot. We actually shot horrible to start the game. But I knew we were getting really good looks, and if we just stuck with it, that we would loosen up in the ball and find the basket. And it did so. I never was worried by the way we started. We had the right intentions. We had to tighten a little bit up on the defensive end, but once I felt the flow of the game and we had the right intentions and the right energy, I knew it would turn around for us.
Dub, it seemed like the series was a battle all series long about who could score in the paint better, who could carve up the other team's defense. You guys had 64 points in the paint today. Did you feel like that was a product of better execution against their zone, or playing off defense? What did you feel out there?
Kind of to Tu's point, just we had a very good progression just throughout the series of getting shots that we wanted. Sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't, but I think defensively we were really good, and we were able to get out in transition, and that's given us layups, and I think that's where a lot of the points in the paint come from. And then that gives you flow, obviously, going into half-court offense, and I think that's kind of where we got our confidence from, and just trusting each other, trusting our process.
For Shay and Dub, during the offseason, you guys bring in AC, and obviously he bought into the culture of this team defensively, but to see him have that kind of impact in the Game 7, can you speak to that?
Yeah, he's a player who rises to the occasion. He's a player that understands the moment and controls what he can control, and he does that at a very high level. Nobody does that at a higher level than him that I've ever played with. He is always in the moment. He's always figuring out how to change the game and better the team. And it doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday in February in New Orleans or if it's a Game 7 tonight. He's giving his 100% attention, energy. And I think that's what's made him the NBA player he's become. And to have a guy like that on your team, it's special. It raises the level of everybody else when you see him just leading like that in that example. He's obviously a big reason why we're as good as we are as a basketball team.
Dub, did you really not sleep at all?
I slept a little bit, but yeah. I was just excited to play. You never know how many Game 7s you're gonna get, and it's an opportunity to be great. So I was just more excited about playing and getting the opportunity to. What was that?
It's trippy. I think think his.
Oh, I thought it was my.
There's been some
something.
leaks in. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Looks like
Leaks. Yeah. Yeah, but I was like, I think I was probably just like hyped up to play and excited. That's really it. You know, those nights it's hard to like kind of like go to sleep.
And Shay asked you after Game 6 kind of how you thought Dub would respond tonight. How do you think he played?
Terrible. Nah, he was amazing. Dub was a big reason for our like little stretch of the lead in the second quarter. Gave us momentum. But I said this out there after the game, like his growth as a basketball player has been obviously like you've seen it all year, but his growth mentally has been more impressive to me. He wouldn't have played the way he played today last year, and I know that 100%. And to see him take that step forward is it's a really proud moment for me. Just knowing like what he goes through on a day-to-day basis, knowing where he comes from, like that's really my brother. And to see him get better in those areas is special. It's fun, and it makes this whole experience a little bit like more special. But yeah, Dub. Other than that, Dub's like a great basketball player, and he brought his A game when we needed the most, and that's what makes you the top of upper echelon of this league, and the sky's the limit for Dub, as we all know.
Both of you guys can comment on just the points off turnovers return. The last couple of games, you really hadn't had that big advantage, but tonight, it's kind of like a feeding frenzy. Got a lot of easy buckets tonight.
Yeah, that's when we're at our best. Starts defensively, and then we're able to play in space with the athletes and the speed that we have. Yeah, but it starts defensively, and once we brought that tonight, we were able to stretch the lead up.
You want me to answer that too? Oh, yeah. Just that's how we play. I think I've said this earlier this year too, just like on like different things. Like our defense is not like predicated on us stealing the ball. You know what I mean? But it's just more about the approach that we have, like how competitive and how right we can be, and like how many rotations we can make. You know what I mean? Like we're like trying to be as aggressive as possible and cover up for each other. And then if that results in a turnover, great. But you know, we're just trying to like contest every shot, rebound every time, like. And you just kind of stack within our defensive like possessions, and then that's what makes us good.
This is a question for both you guys. Obviously, a lot of excitement, nerves going into this game. Did you draw on anything? Did you reach out to anyone? Did anybody give you advice on how to approach a game like this?
No, I turned my phone off, honestly.
Okay.
I just wanted to, like, as best as I could, block out all the noise. Just, like, enjoy the time. We had 2 days off for the first time in a little bit. Enjoy the time with my family. Like, I knew this moment was coming, and the nerves sat in my stomach for the days, but I tried to, like, just think about it as least possible as I could. And I think I did a pretty good job handling that. Came out ready to play today.
When you say turn it off, you mean, like, do not disturb, and, like, maybe your mom can get through, or, like,
Yeah, no social media, basically, and then if you have my number, you can have my number to text me. So, yeah.
Jalen, I don't know if you can take the 20,000-foot view this close to the end of a Game 7, but just what you guys have come through to now get to this point to go to the finals, what are you proudest of just with where you guys are in this moment?
I think exactly that. Like, we are where our feet are. Like, being present in the moment, not letting, like, too many outside stuff, like, control what we're doing in the game. And I think that was most impressive to everybody. Like, no matter what was going on, like, we stuck together. And we were just kind of like uncommon in that way. Like, we even had like team dinner like after a loss. I think that just shows like how connected we've been, and we've been doing that the whole time. So we're just with each other regardless of what happens. I think that's what makes us a good team.
Shay, as you think about now where you guys are headed, only 4 teams left in these playoffs. You're the top seed, and really some of those other top seeds have gone. What does this sort of set up for you in your mind?
Nothing at all. We play a really good team in the Timberwolves, and we got to try to beat them 4 times before they beat us 4 times. And that's all I'm worried about, all our team is worried about. Like Dub just said, just trying to be where our feet are in the moment and see what's in front of us and try to attack it and come out on the right end of it. I think that's why we've gotten this far in the season, and we're going to continue to do so.
Dub, you guys took your first lead, 27-26. It was your lay that did it, and you got a whistle, and the crowd just goes crazy. It's one of the bigger pops of the night. Just kind of what was going through your head after the struggles you've had with this crowd just going crazy for you.
Did I get fouled?
Yeah, you missed the free throw.
Honestly, it'd be so loud in there. It's really cool to have those moments. I always try and like relish those in the game, and yeah, it's just really fun to play in there. So we have a very good fan base.
And then Daniel.
For both of you guys, Coach talked about just the magnitude of this game before you guys came in here, talking about how he woke up this morning knowing that he'll always remember because it's a Game 7. How much of that halftime break played a part in the sense of you guys coming out and putting together that tremendous third quarter? I mean, just to take that kind of like a deep breath. It's the only time you really kind of get that brief time to all be together for that little moment. Did you think that played a part, or just things come together just in that third quarter organically?
We honestly had I think besides Game 2, we haven't been really good coming out of halftime this series. And that was on the top of everyone's mind at halftime. We wanted to make sure that we got out to a good start. We obviously built a pretty good lead. I think it was 14 going into halftime, but the type of team they are, we've seen it all series. 14 is never enough. And we knew that, and we wanted to come out and throw the first punch, we call it, and I think we did a good job of that tonight.
Yeah, Shay, Mark and Caruso at different points in the series talked about how you guys were looking forward to playing the Nuggets because of how good of a team you got and how much respect you had for them. What are some of the things that you learned about this team, you guys' team, now that now that the series is over?
Learned about us?
Yeah.
Nothing I didn't already know, but we can win no matter the environment, no matter the type of game. It could be ugly, it could be pretty, it could be high scoring, it could be low scoring, it could be a lot of free throws, it could be no free throws. No matter what it is, we can find a way to win, and I think that's very important this time of year. But yeah, like I said, I already knew that about us, and we have to keep implying that going forward.
What else we got? We're gonna do two more. We got Michael, actually three more. Then you.
Dub, going back to plus minus, we have Caruso and Kaysen coming off the bench. They have the two highest plus minus off the bench in Game 7 history. These past three games, what have they meant to you guys in sort of just closing out the series?
They've been great. They've hit big shots. They've done a lot of little stuff that people won't know about, just as far as being in the right coverage, pursuing, playing good defense. They've just been really, really solid. AC switched on to Jokic for a lot of that game too, so it's for them to answer that task and be willing to kind of do whatever speaks to what kind of players they are, and that's why they're here.
Mark said that this was your guys' best game on defense activity-wise. What do you guys think led to that?
Do or die.
Yeah, sense of urgency. We knew that if we didn't, like I said, bring our A game on the defensive end of the floor, that our season could be over, and nobody in the locker room was ready for that. We, above all, wanted to control the controllables, and defense is one of those things, being active, communicating, helping each other. You can't always control if the ball goes in on the other end of the floor, but defense you can always control, and we knew that, and that's why we were as active as we were tonight.
You and Nikhil have played against each other a lot now, but just from a personal standpoint, what's it going to be like matching up with him in a conference finals?
Yeah, it'll be very fun. It's it's hard to even explain. If you know how close we are, he's literally like my second brother. He's been through every stage of life with me, and picking up a basketball to going to prep school to making the NBA. We've gone through every situation together. For both of us to be where we are is special. To compete against each other is even more special. But I am trying to take his head off for sure.
Thanks.
Completely.
Thanks.